Almost all plant foods contain carbohydrates in some form, so if you want to eat a healthy diet, it's impossible to eliminate carbohydrates. Carbs do have a very bad reputation at the moment, and most people think that you have to avoid carbs to lose weight, and this simply isn't true. A lot of people avoid carbs because they are avoiding processed junk food sources of carbs, such as cakes, cookies, donuts, and white bread. But most people have gone too far, labeling all carbs as the enemy when this simply isn't true. There are many plant-based foods which are higher in carbs that are extremely nutritious and good for your health. The main thing that determines whether you lose weight is consuming less calories than you burn, and plenty of people are able to lose weight by including carbohydrates in their diet. In some ways, I do agree with limiting the number of high carbohydrate foods that you consume, because if you don't, there simply won't be enough room on your plate for other nutritious foods. People are prone to eating a diet solely based up of mainly high carb foods such as sandwiches, pizza and pasta, and when you eat all of your calories from high carb foods, you aren't eating a balanced diet and your health will suffer as a result. So it is very difficult to lose weight by eating a diet mainly based on carbs, because you won't be eating a large volume of food, and if you're sticking to your calorie requirements for weight loss, you will end up feeling very deprived because your stomach will be empty and your body will be sending you signals to eat more constantly. Carbs are also not as filling as protein sources, so it's good to limit the number of carbs that you eat. Nutritious carbs are the one food group that if you removed it, it would have the least impact on your health. And this is because if you eat a plant-based diet, you'll still be getting enough carbohydrates from your protein sources and your leaves, fruit and veg. So if you wanted to cut anything out of your diet, it wouldn't be a great loss to cut out the foods that are high in carbs. But that doesn't mean that you would be eating a very low carb diet. On a plant-based diet, it's very difficult, if not impossible, to eat a very low carb diet. So there's no point in really trying. So what are some of the benefits of nutritious carbs? Why are they so nutritious? Nutritious carbs are a great source of energy, nutrients and fiber, and they also help to balance out a meal and help you feel satisfied, which is crucial when it comes to sticking to this way of eating for longer. And that's why when it comes to meals, I tend to try and include at least one nutritious carb per meal. It is possible to lower the calorie count of the meal even more by replacing some of your nutritious carbs with vegetables, such as replacing rice with cauliflower rice, etc. But I tend not to do that very often because I've noticed that I feel much more satisfied after eating the rice than if I ate the cauliflower rice, and satisfaction in my meals really helps me to look forward to eating and continue to eat this way. Carbs are also essential for brain functioning. You only have to look towards the negative side effects of diets such as the keto diets to realize how detrimental it can be to cut carbs out of the diet. What are some of the best sources of nutritious carbs? Here are some of the best sources of nutritious carbs: potatoes, sweet potatoes, corn, oats, rice, gluten-free rice pasta, popcorn, quinoa, buckwheat, gluten-free flour, amaranth, millet, sorghum, and teff. Almost all of the items on this list are grains, and all of them are gluten-free. The only item on this list that isn't a grain is white and sweet potatoes. The only reason why I put potatoes in the list of carbs rather than leaves, fruit and veg is that they tend to be very high in calories, so it's better to treat them as a carb rather than a vegetable. However, potatoes are some of the highest nutrient food on this list because technically they are a vegetable. So if you ever hear people saying that a white potato is a worthless, useless carb devoid of nutrients, they are absolutely wrong. It contains an abundance of nutrients. It's one of the healthiest foods on the planet. So how much of these nutritious carbs should you be adding to your plate? On my plant plates, I try to add around 100 calories of nutritious carbs to each plate. Adding around 100 calories of healthy grains or potatoes to each meal helps you feel balanced and satisfied. As almost all plant-based foods contain carbohydrates, the amount of carbohydrates that you will be consuming for the 3 meals is usually going to be higher than the amount you get from the nutritious carbs alone. So what are the next steps to lose weight on a plant-based diet? If you'd like to learn more about my weight loss system, which is based on plant-based, gluten-free, delicious meals around 400 calories each, I encourage you to go to greenthickies.com/leaf system, and there will be a link in the description below that you can click on, and you can read all of the testimonials and success stories over there as well. Now it's your turn to reach a healthy weight by making your own plant-based plates.
The magical life of